Hello, friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. Today, we are taking a look at the Magiranger DX WolKaiser, which is from Power Rangers Mystic Force, I think, although, as I understand it, I don't think this specific toy was released in the US. I think this was Japan only. I don't know. And I think it was like bad guy, but not quite. I don't know. I don't know the story behind all this, but here we have an evil-looking dude riding a horse, so we're just going to roll with that. And yeah, this is a neat figure. I will say I got him first, thought he was fantastic, then got the Titan Megazord, and I still think this guy's really cool, but the Titan Megazord is totally one-ups this guy, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, WolKaiser. So, it's an evil purple dude riding a horse, riding a robot horse of sorts. And I'll see if I can get him off the horse here. First of all, yeah, he's riding a horse, and it works. It's like, if you know where to look, there are some bits that are a bit noticeable in terms of like robot modes and transformations and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, does a pretty good job of hiding all that. So let's disconnect him here because, you know, it's a Power Rangers figure, so he actually does have clips on his thighs that clip to the top of the horse there. All right. So horse sits in the background for now. So, straighten this guy out. Alright, and there we have, I think this is WolKaiser, or Wolzard, I don't know. I don't know what the individual guy's name is, but, there we go. But, he is an imposing looking figure. By which I mean he cuts an imposing figure, not like I'd worry about owning this toy. I am just having immense amounts of trouble keeping this microphone in front of my face. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah, WolKaiser. I think Wolzard. I don't know. This guy, the purple guy, he is very neat though. I love just the purple, silver, and gold color combination. It's really cool. He's got this nice evil-ish looking sword. Some nice molded detail there. And it's got that gap there because this folds away. The reason that folds away is because it tucks into the shield. And let's take a look at the shield. And yeah, this is a really nice looking shield. I did get mine secondhand, so the paint in a couple of places is a bit beaten up. I don't really mind it, but just letting you know. Yeah, this is a neat looking shield. It's like something out of The Legend of Zelda, practically, with like the big evil eye in the middle. This is totally a face with like teeth, angry eyebrows. It's really cool. I really like this shield design. And again, the purple, gold, and silver, and some black. It's a really nice combination. Just that red in the center. It doesn't necessarily pop as much as it could against that gold, but still, it's a really nice design, really nice coloring. Really like this shield. And now the whole reason that the sword hilt handle folds up is so that you can sheathe the sword in the shield, and that will be important later. But for now, we will leave that, and there we have the really neat looking shield. So, on to Purple Dude himself. He is, like I said, covered in black, purple, gold, and silver, and it is a really nice assortment of colors, and some really nice way the details just kind of break all that up. Like, instead of there being really large chunks of color, you've got like black, a little bit of purple, then gold, then more purple, then black, then onto silver, and then, yeah, so on and so forth. Just really, really nice. And I love how he's just covered in spikes. Like, not necessarily covered in spikes, but like the motif on his armor is just spike designs everywhere. There's just like these sharp angles and points all over. Kind of lends to the whole evil dude thing. And then spiky arm cover thingies, whatever those are called. And of course, these really awesome silver wolf shoulder pads. Like, those are neat. I dig those. And it's almost bat-like gold crest on the chest there. So much awesomeness to this guy's design. And the head also looks really cool with, again, that's just like the black, purple, gold, and silver. And I do really like how they, like, that black would have blended into the purple quite a bit because of the tone, because it's a very dark purple, but just that little bit of gold trim around the outside really helps to set it apart. That's some really nice paintwork too, I have to say. Not much going on in the back of the head, but it does kind of give it like a medieval helmet sort of look with an incredibly and absurdly ornate faceplate. So yeah, this guy, he is very neat looking. And let's put the shield back in his hand for now. There. So. Now let's move on to the horse. So you stand back there. And now for the horse. So the horse, I had to ask my wife about this because Diana is much more knowledgeable of horses than I am. And I was thinking the horse's proportions are a little... bumping the camera already. Ugh. So I was thinking the horse's proportions are a little bit off and asked her about it, and yeah, she totally agreed with me on that. It's like, just for the most part, it's not bad, but it's like the neck could be a little bit longer, the head could be a little bit bigger, because it just kind of looks a little oddly proportioned when you're really kind of, if you try and look at it for too long. But it's still neat. I mean, this is a neat looking horse. I love just like the black and silver with like a little bit of gold here and there, which also, it's basically the same color scheme as this guy, only without the purple and way more black. And I'm cool with that. The horse head looks suitably don't mess with me. And the mane is just a giant sword, basically. There's just some nice detail molded all over this thing. I appreciate these as stirrups too, and we'll go into that during the transformation, but I think it's interesting that they actually included stirrups as both part of the horse mode and as a major factor of the robot mode. It's neat how that worked out. And not a whole lot of detail towards the back. You got like some silver for the legs and the hooves, a little bit here, but other than that, it's just the tail, that nice stripe of gold going through there, which is really cool. So yeah, that is the horse. That is the purple guy. Now, he's got sort of a halfway transformation mode, so we'll just get that out of the way right now, I guess. So he becomes a centaur. Now, this weapon is supposed to attach to his hand. It kind of is meant to peg in like here and do that, but my fingers aren't small enough to get in there, and I don't have nails long enough to pull that peg up. So just use your imaginations, because I'm not killing myself for that. But here we have the Centaur mode, and I think it's neat that they included this mode, but honestly, it doesn't work for me that well, because I feel like in proportion, the humanoid bit is too small compared to the rest of the body. I just feel like if this guy were either a little bit bigger or this horse bit were a little bit smaller, it would work better as a centaur. I mean, it works. It's just, proportionally a little bit off. Still, it doesn't look bad. Anyway, let's get this guy finished up. So here we have WolKaiser, or Walzard, or whatever his name is, in his robot-ish mode, I guess, or exoskeleton mode, armor mode. I don't really know. I never watched Magiranger or Power Rangers Mystic Force, so I don't know exactly the terminology for this thing. But yeah, another thing to do real quick, got to take this piece, make his weapons, that just snaps in and then combines with this. In theory. Come on. Well, this is difficult to do one-handed. There we go. Okay. And that forms a very intimidating kind of scythe-ish weapon, which I think looks pretty cool. And I'm putting it in his left hand because the other downside to getting this figure used, aside from some of the paint wear here and there, is the fact that the ratchet on this arm is just really, really bad. Just cannot hold anything with any sort of weight to it. But anyway, WolKaiser or Walzard or whatever, this thing is really cool. I really, really like this. This is such a nifty design, and it goes from like a predominantly black horse to a predominantly, like, it's still mostly black, but like there's so much gold and silver in this now. It's so cool. And like you've got this really nice shoulder detail, that an arm detail that was hidden in the horse mode, but just like, raise it up a little bit. Like you can see just that embossed, like, Pegasus type, not Pegasus, unicorn motif there, gold here. It's such a nice design just in the shoulder. And then you got like that silver for the arms and stuff. Now, what I was talking about before with the stirrups, that is the feet. And that's a really cool trick. I feel like they work as stirrups, but then when you transform them to feet, they work as feet too. And I think these are really nice, ornate boots that this guy seems to be wearing. And I really dig the pointed toe look. It just kind of fits. Like, it's Magiranger or Power Rangers Mystic Force. It's meant to be kind of like, magical and whatnot. And I think pointed toe shoes like that kind of work with this motif to give it that look. Now, I'm going to get this out of the way here, so we've got a little bit less chance to bump the camera while moving this guy around. And bring him closer so you can see that shield ends up becoming a really intimidating looking chest piece. And I love how these wolf shoulder pads end up pointing forward to become part of the chest design. That's just really, really cool. And then we have the head, which, just for the sake of argument, we'll just look at it this way to get it really close. It'll be easier. So yeah, I love the design on that head too. It's actually somewhat reminiscent of the design on the chest, in a very kind of loose way. Like, there you see you've got like the mouth, the one giant eye, the angry forehead thing. Here you've got a similar mouth where it's got like the two fangs and the one in the bottom. Totally has that. And then instead of one eye, it does have two, and the head crest sort of mimics the eye and the bushy eyebrows there. So yeah, they did a really good job of just carrying over a lot of the design elements across this figure. And I feel like it's a little goofy how he's got this like pointy head because of the horse head, but I think it also kind of works because he's got the pointy shoes. It just kind of gives him like an evil magician sort of look, which may actually be the point. I don't know. I haven't seen the show, so I can't say for certain, but it just kind of has that vibe to it, and I'm into that. And now he is, I mean, you know, all the purple is basically just in the chest and the head, but there is, you know, there's a lot of gold and silver throughout, and then there's a little bit of red in the shoulders. It's just, the purple is kind of contained, but he can combine with the Phoenix dude from the Titan Megazord, or Magiking, and that's a really cool combination too, so I'm going to show that off real quick. And this one I am not going to speed through, just because I'm going to try to do this the old-fashioned way. So pop that off. Don't need that. Can pull this back and then open up the pants, pull him out and put him off to the side, and then this can just kind of sit there looking all sad and dejected. Now I'm gonna take this, pop that off, take this, pull that open, and then swing this around, and you can kind of see where this is going. And now we take Phoenix guy, pop that open, flip his head back, and then get his arms in position. And then this will clip in. It's a little hard to see, but there we go. It's actually easier for me to just line up the designs than it is to find the appropriate things. Okay, so now he's looking like this. And now you can take this, and this will just clip in, just like Walsey. And that closes up. That comes down, goes up and up. And we are almost done. Just gonna angle that up a little bit more. And then this comes down and clips on there. Clips on there. There we go. And there we have whatever the heck this thing is called. I don't care what it's called because it looks fantastic. Oh, God. I really like WolKaiser, Walzard, whatever, with the black and the gold and the purple. What's with my color balance here? Come on. Okay. Maybe this will help. That sort of helps. Anyway, so the initial combination, very cool. I was into that. Thought it was neat. This combination is so much better, and I don't mean to say that as in, like, I don't mean to imply that having this guy tucked in there made it look bad. Like, this is a cool head, this is a cool chest. He's cool as the purple thing, but this is so awesome. Like, I love just the bulkier chest, the red and gold ties in really well to the design on the shoulders there. That head is a really neat looking head. Let's just, can I get you any lower? Yeah, it's such a neat looking kind of knight head. And then he's got that big sweeping mohawk thing. It's just, this is a really cool combination. I'm really glad that I was able to put this together. The only downside is if I've got him in there, then I can't do the Titan Megazord, and the Titan Megazord is really cool too, so it's kind of a toss-up. I typically have this guy in there, but Still, this looks really cool, and I am just super happy with this. And this also works for me in the same sense that the purple just kind of stands out color-wise, but here it's just black, gold, silver, and red all across the board, and it's a much more just cohesive color scheme. And even though the red is predominantly in the chest, head, and shoulders area, it's still spread more throughout the figure than it is with this guy in place. Plus, it's just bulkier and beefier looking, and I'm into that. So yeah, that's very neat. Let's get him back to his default mode real quick. So in the end, Walzard or WolKaiser or whatever his name is just really cool. And I almost forgot to do a size comparison. I think I forgot to do a size comparison for the horse mode, but that's okay. There we have Titan's Return Deluxe and Samus. So he is not a small dude. They never are. Anyway, he is very cool. I mean, if it came down to choosing between this guy and the Titan Megazord, I honestly would take the Titan Megazord, because it's just, I mean, I'll go over why I love that thing so much when I do the video for it, but I just, you know, I appreciate that a little bit more than this guy, but this guy is still very, very cool. And I like the more unconventional, for Sentai anyway, approach to the having the horse sort of become armor for the humanoid figure instead of having it be like, transform into a big robot. So yeah, this guy's very cool. He's got a very cool kind of fittingly sort of mystic kind of motif going. Just really cool all across the board. And he looks really good standing next to the Titan Megazord, which I'll have to show off sometime. Anyway, that's enough of that. It's enough stalling for time and whatnot. So, thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, equine art is more than meets the eye.